Hello everyone, welcome to Vic Spirit Guidance. Welcome all of you that are new and all of you returning today to this channel. Don't forget to subscribe down below if you haven't yet, and if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me, you can book through the Etsy shop, or for 18 plus personal readings, you can book those on my coffee shop. Both are linked down below in the description box and in the pinned comment below this video. So in today's reading, we're going to be doing a reading on your person's most recent thoughts about you. So we're going to be tuning into what have they been thinking about most recently about you, about your connection. We have 3 different groups to pick from for today's reading. So we have group number 1 here with the 8 of Wands card. We have group number 2 with the Knight of Cups card. And we have group number 3 with the 10 of Cups card. So these are the 3 groups you can pick from for today's reading. The timestamps are down below in the description box and in the pinned comment below this video. Follow your intuition and feel towards which group is calling towards you the very most. The group that pops up to you or calls towards you the very most is the one for you. There may also be more than one groups calling your name. So that means you have messages in more than one group. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see all of you in your chosen groups. And yeah, the timestamps are down below. So hop into your reading whenever you are ready, and pause the video if you want to take a little bit more time. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. So you guys have picked the 8 of Wands card for today. So this is going to be a reading on your person's most recent thoughts about you. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by drawing a couple of additional cards. So let's see what wants to show up. What are their most recent thoughts about you? What are your most recent thoughts, please? Right, so we do have the Strength in the reversed position. Let's see what else. We have the Magician. Okay. So we have the World in the reversed position here. Yet we also have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is like a wild ride already. This person's very much in and out. And literally, we see that with the cards as well. You know, like they're in, they're not in, they're in, they're not able to be in, they're in again. So they're very much like scattered. The energy here is literally scattered. Let's see what's going on with them. Like maybe they've just been thinking about, should they message, shouldn't they message, should they message, shouldn't they message. We have the 7 of Pentacles as well here. Alrighty, so let me just fix you guys up a little bit here so that everything is present. And let's talk about these cards first. Then I'm of course going to draw some more cards as well, just to tune in a little bit more deeply with everything. All right, so starting with this 8 of Wands card, right? This card indicates that this person's most recent thoughts have been a lot. They've been racing. So their mind is racing. The thoughts of you, or even the thoughts of the connection, have recently come in really rapid, uncontrollable bursts for them, which makes sense with, you know, the oscillation here, in, out. So there was like a very big change happening. And it's likely because, you know, they're experiencing these bursts and then it kind of falls down, then there is a burst again. So The Eight of Wands here is a card of momentum and wanting to message you, wanting to reach out, wanting to do something. So there is a sense of urgency here, suggesting that on some level, they just feel this incredible urgency, as though something about the bond between the two of you is accelerating beyond what they can consciously manage. And this could signal intrusive thoughts or a desire to move quickly, perhaps even impulsively, a desire even to bulldoze through some of these insecurities that they may feel are popping up for them in this connection. The Eight of Wands here, like especially in light of all the other cards, does indicate that this person could be getting downloads or even intuitive flashes that then kind of destabilize them about you and about your connection. So they could be getting these downloads or intuitive flashes. They're receiving information about this connection that goes beyond logic, and that could lead them towards feeling very, very unstable. So the speed and intensity of them receiving this information, or the speed of intensity of just the momentum that they on occasion feel, can really, really overwhelm them with the Strength card here. So this person, they get overwhelmed. In reverse, the Strength here suggests that there is inner insecurity, that there's wavering confidence, and even a lack of emotional control. So they're thinking about themselves and how they don't feel like they have the emotional control over themselves or over the situation or over where things are moving. Or even they don't have the emotional control over the downloads or the intuitive flashes that they are receiving. So they may feel unable to handle the raw intensity of attraction or intimacy in this connection. So it's almost as if passion is overpowering this person's ability to remain steady, calm, and composed. And this can show up as a fear of vulnerability. So psychologically speaking, this person, they might wrestle with shame, doubt, self-doubt, or even a sense of weakness when it comes to facing your bond. So this card, the shadow here, or like the shadow of the Strength card, this could also more spiritually, this could spiritually point towards this person doing some shadow work, or even just being punched in the face with a trigger or with shadow work that's triggered by you or by your relationship, by this connection. So they could just be triggered and like faced with their own shadow, leading them to have to face primal fears or urges that they just don't know how to deal with, or even wounds around control and surrender could pop up for this person strongly. So with the Magician energy here though, right? With the Magician, here lies kind of the pivot point of their thinking recently. They want to manifest and take control of the situation. The Magician here, in their most recent thoughts, means that they are highly aware of the potential between you and them. And they're seeing the relationship as something they can shape, mold, or even consciously direct. So the Magician here, this reflects some recent fantasies, or even like visualizations. The fantasies here, or daydreams, kind of take this form of a visualization for this person, where they're like manifesting through it without actually knowing that they're manifesting through it. So this may reflect fantasies of creating communication between the two of you, orchestrating some type of encounter between the two of you, or using their own personal power to pull you closer. So this could even border on a desire to kind of strategize or even quote unquote engineer, the connection. They want to engineer the connection. They want to decide also whether to step into the role of the initiator. So they also recognize that this connection has some transformative qualities about it. And that's what they've kind of been like low-key reflecting on lately, because it awakens their willpower, their sense of possibility, and at the same time kind of really awakens this sense of destiny for this person. So they've been reflecting on that, like as just these more subconscious, more like undercurrent things that they feel are connected to your relationship. And at the same time, with the world reverse, we again like have this like fall down here. With the world reverse, this is a paradoxical energy to this, because we have this kind of up and down flow with your person. So this means that they also feel unfinished, incomplete, or even held back from fully entering into this dynamic, transformative quality of your connection. So the reversed world suggests an awareness of cycles that are not yet closed. This person knows that they have some unfinished business with you, or even with other people that are impacting your connection. There's the energy here of unresolved lessons, and even a sense of not being ready for the next stage yet. While feeling it's coming, there's a feeling of also not being fully ready for it. So recently, this person's thoughts might really spiral around a sense of delay, a sense of incompleteness, or even a sense of not being quite there yet. And this card, World Reverse, just really, profoundly talks about and whispers of this longing for fulfillment, this longing for wholeness, this longing for joy, but also of that being blocked. And psychologically may signal a fear of failure as well, of not living up to what this connection could be, what they feel it could be here, or what this connection demands. So spiritually, it points to a potential of there being like a karmic loop between the two of you, or a pattern that they must break before they can step into unity with you. And again, like kind of sort of this person is already aware of there being a pattern that they need to break, but they're not fully there yet, right? They don't have the strength yet to fully face it, to fully deal with it, to fully overcome it. So then with the 10 of Pentacles here, despite all this turbulence, We again have this up energy here. So there's a deep root of longing for stability here. There's a deep longing for permanence, legacy even here. And their thoughts gravitate around the long term. They have a vision of a shared home. They have a vision of a shared life, a family, or even they have a vision of integration into each other's worlds and what that could potentially look like. The Ten of Pentacles suggests that they imagine you as someone with whom they could build something enduring. And psychologically, this is the anchor of their fantasies, because it just shows that they don't see this as a fleeting thing or a fleeting desire. For some of you, the Ten of Pentacles, though, can also indicate a soul family energy between you and your person. So some type of recognition between the two of you, an ancestral connection even, or a sense that the bond is meant to be more than just a passing romance or a passing, just unrequited love or something like that. There's a feeling of this needs to be something more tangible in both of your lives. So Spirit just commented that you both are currently figuring out what this is. So what this connection looks like in a more stable way, in a more tangible way in both of your lives. So you're both figuring this out right now, is what Spirit just shared. So lastly, with the Seven of Pentacles, before we get into some additional cards as well, the Seven of Pentacles here is this person self-reflecting. So their most recent thoughts are about self-reflection. Their thoughts do often return to patience, like they need to manage themselves, but they do work on it and they do work on themselves, returning to patience, to waiting, even to assessment. This person wonders if what they've invested in emotionally is going to be fruitful. And this card shows that they are not rushing into action despite experiencing this deep state of urgency. They are instead mentally circling to the question of timing and reflecting on that, thinking about that recently. So they're thinking, is this worth the effort? Will this grow? Is this time to reap or time to wait? The Seven of Pentacles here is showing up as this person's self-protection, kind of stalling to make sure their vision of the Ten of Pentacles here is realistic. And the Seven of Pentacles here could even represent some karmic gestation, like seeds that have been planted long ago are now pushing towards manifestation here. But they do require time to ripen, just because this person may lack the capacity to really hold this energy. So let's see what else wants to show up. Let's draw a couple of keywords. Ooh. So let's see. So we have, immediately we have self-love. Let's draw a couple of cards here. Let's see what's going on. We have feeling lost. So this person trying to love themselves, while they're also feeling lost. We have false self. Okay. We have boundaries. Let's take a few more cards, please, Spirit. Okay. We have freedom. We have intimacy. And we have harmony. Let's take one more card. Ooh. We have acceptance here as well. Okay, so these are really lovely energies. So with the self-love, their thoughts recently, he revealed a struggle with self-love, especially with strength reversed. It shows that there is some insecurity present and a sense of feeling weak, not enough, or even easily overwhelmed. And they may project this onto the relationship, fearing they can't handle or hold the intensity. The Seven of Pentacles here as well shows them slowly learning how to invest in themselves and how to nurture rather than rush. And they are realizing they can't offer lasting love until they first cultivate patience and compassion for themselves. So that's something this person has been learning and kind of reflecting on in this more like an undercurrent in their life. They do still feel lost though, like wandering without closure. And there's a sense of incompleteness here with feeling lost. This person may even feel like they're kind of in this in-between state where they're craving wholeness, but unsure of how to get it, how to arrive there. And they're caught in kind of this liminal space between old cycles and new chapters, which we also see with the cards, because we have like this spike. We have like a up and a fall, and an up and a fall, and an up and a fall, there's like this energy here. And yeah, this person does feel lost, and they're reflecting on how can they find meaning. The false self here indicates that this person is aware that they sometimes perform, sometimes put on a mask, or try to control outcomes. The false self here indicates an awareness of how often they operate from a false self, how often they kind of project power or charm or control while inwardly feeling unstable and uncertain and vulnerable even. And recently their thoughts have been circling around the split of also, do you see who they really are or only what they show you? Now with the boundaries card here, their internal dialogue right now is also about boundaries, of knowing when to pause, when to invest, when to retreat. They do fear losing themselves if they lean too far into intimacy. So their thoughts kind of wrestle with how to keep a safe distance without sabotaging the bond. With freedom, there's a sense of wanting freedom from stagnation, while at the same time feeling blocked. So this person's thoughts do feel like a very strong tug of war. The desire to rush forward here and liberate themselves is very strong, versus also like this energy of stagnation and blocks of freedom that may come up with the world reversed. There's a feeling of looping through unfinished lessons. There's some frustration here as well. But also intimacy is a very, very strong theme here lately in their thoughts. Especially also with the Ten of Pentacles, because that shows that they crave deep-rooted connection, a sense of legacy, a long-term intimacy. They don't just want a physical closeness, but also integration of lives, of families, of futures. The Strength reverse here does also reveal that their fear of being truly vulnerable is present here. This person is worried that intimacy will expose their weaknesses and overwhelm them, or even make other people leave them. And lastly here with harmony, in their thoughts, harmony looks like a vision with the 10 of coins or the 10 of pentacles, with the magician energy, with the 8 of wands, you know. There's this harmony, a shared life where everything clicks into place that they're feeling and thinking about. The magician here gives them the hope that they can create this harmony actively and the willpower to do so. But also that hope is kind of tempered right now by, you know, this feeling of incompleteness and waiting with the 7 of Pentacles. Ultimately, though, right, this person is moving towards acceptance. The slow recognition that cycles take time is starting to really land for them. That wholeness requires embracing both strengths and weaknesses. That's starting to land for them. The 7 of Pentacles shows them practicing acceptance of the process. And the world reversed reveals the discomfort of not being done yet. So they are learning to accept imperfection and incompleteness as part of their journey towards romance and towards love, but not really towards romance. It's more towards love, because this feels like a more spiritual journey towards the actual like vibration of love. So yeah, group number 1, what can we say, right? Their recent thoughts here, they really feel like a dialogue between the higher self and the shadow self. One part rushing forward in passion and vision, the other one like really stalling, afraid, aware of unfinished lessons, feeling bummed by that. So this person, yeah, they feel the connection stirs in them both a longing for ultimate fulfillment and even like a very deep confrontation with their own fears. And also the fear of not being enough. Their most recent thoughts are not just about desire, but also about whether they can become the version of themselves that is capable of sustaining the future they envision for themselves. Yeah. So that's all for today, right? So we're going to finish it here. Thank you so much for tuning in, my darlings. Thank you for sharing your energy. Let me know how this was for you in the comments down below. If you want to book a personal reading, you can book through my Etsy shop, or for 18+ personal readings, you can check out those on my coffee shop as well. The link to the coffee shop is down below, and so Etsy. So thank you for tuning in. For those of you who are interested in 18+ pick-up cards and uncensored content, similar to this one, just more erotic, more sexy, you can check that out on my Patreon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, share, subscribe for more tarot insights. Thanks to all of you who have been sending donations. It means a great deal to me. It helps to support my work and to be able to give you this type of content for free. So sending you love and clarity, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye. Namaste. Hello, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. So you guys have picked the Knight of Cups card for today's reading on the topic of their most recent thoughts. So what they've been thinking about recently, what have their thoughts been about, especially with this card here. Definitely feels like this person is losing their head over you. So there's a feeling of a crush here that's quite intense, a lot of fantasies, maybe a lot of ideals about your connection. So let's see what else wants to show up here. So we're going to start off by drawing a couple of additional cards here. Let's see what wants to show up. So what have they been thinking about most recently? Please, Spirit. Okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Let's see what else. We have the Hanged Man in the reversed position. What have they been thinking about? Okay. We have the Six of Swords. Interesting. What else? Oh, we have the Hierophant. Wow. Love that. I just heard you are on my mind. Want to be with you. I'm getting more 18 plus thoughts as well. So just wanted to share, you guys, we're not going to get into the 18 plus topics in this reading, but feel free to check out my Patreon for other 18 plus themed readings. There are a lot there. We have the Empress here as well. This person just wants to say that you are very hot, you're very sexy, they feel very drawn to you, and they find you very adorable and lovely. Okay, so let's go in and talk about these cards. We're going to do a bit of a deep dive into these cards here, into their most recent thoughts, and then we're going to draw some keywords as well. So let's get into this. So this person's most recent thoughts, just overall, they seem to orbit around conflicting impulses between movement and stillness, and desire and hesitation, and structure and a sense of surrender to your connection, or even to love itself. We do have the two knights energies here, and these two knights represent two different modes of pursuing something. So the Knight of Cups here is driven by dreams, emotions, romance, ideals, just wanting to get out there and enjoy and have fun. The other one here with the Knight of Pentacles, this is a more grounded, methodical, cautious energy. So this kind of feels a little bit like there's a tug of war inside this person. Like they do want to express their love and show up at your doorstep with like flowers and chocolates, and they like wanna, I'm hearing, run you down in a way as well. They're like losing their head over you, just want to be with you, they want to kiss you, they want to hug you, they want you to be there. So there's this energy of I want to almost like consume you here with the Knight of Cups. But on the other hand here, we also have this Knight of Pentacles, which is much more grounded, more patient, more stable in their actions. Okay, so talking, first of all, let's talk about the Knight of Cups here. So this person, mentally and in their thoughts, they feel pulled to expressing longing, expressing affection, and even a kind of idealized, poetic yearning for you and for your connection. So they definitely feel like very strong pull towards that. This person is crushing on you, yearning for you, wanting to be close to you, wanting to do a little bit of hanky-panky with you, all that. Then we have this more grounded energy. There is an inner voice here reminding them that real love requires patience, consistency, and building something steady. So their thoughts kind of like oscillate between a desire to just like sweep you off your feet, literally, wink, wink, and then the more sobering realization that true intimacy takes time and effort, and it needs to develop more slowly, and they need to chill out. So that's kind of like the internal like tug of war even like going on for this person. Yeah, we have the Hanged Man reversed here as well. So in this context, right, the Hanged Man reversed suggests that there is impatience present or resistance to letting things unfold naturally. So they may feel suspended in uncertainty. They may feel tired of waiting. Perhaps even waiting for clarity from you, or even for the circumstances between the two of you to shift. The reversal here implies that this person is struggling to release some of the ego-driven expectations, that they are clinging to some things, that they're clinging to the need for resolution, for example, to see things move the way that they want them to move. And there's like a stubbornness here, right? They want things to go their way, like a little toddler. No, this is what I want. No, that's kind of their vibe here. And they're really holding on to that vision, what they want, really strongly. So this can then manifest as frustration at being, quote unquote, stuck in what they want, being stuck in limerence even, or longing, without then knowing how to like ground it, because they're not surrendering to the possibilities around them. They're so focused on the only one path that they want to manifest, they're not observing how other paths can also get them there, you know? So they're just focused on this one thing, but not seeing these other paths that are like this and like that, you know, moving to the same thing. Now, the Six of Swords is here as well. The Six of Swords here indicates that they are thinking about how they can heal through this, or how they can transition or move away from emotional turbulence. And the Six of Swords suggests a desire to escape some of these stormy inner waters, metaphorically speaking, into more calm terrain. This Six of Swords can reflect them thinking about how this connection, or even their feelings for you, could serve as a quote-unquote passage. I love that. Passage towards healing and peace, away from past heartbreak. And then also like showing up with close to the Hanged Man here. There is tension here between these two characters, where they want to move forward but may resist the surrender and patience that true healing requires. And we also do have the Hierophant here and the Empress. And these two together, they carry like a really, really strong archetype, and even like a very strong spiritual undertone in matters of love. So the Hierophant, right? The Hierophant represents or reflects structure, tradition, and higher guidance, while the Empress here embodies sensuality and abundance and fertility, and this more like nurturing principle. So these two together, they represent the duality of seeking a relationship that is like sanctified, let's say, that's legitimate, that's structured, maybe even socially really recognized in the public sphere, especially if your person is kind of popular or in the public sphere, and deeply embodied with Empress. So romantic here, fertile, emotionally abundant. So with these two together, this person's thoughts center around you as someone who awakens both of this in them, both of these desires in them. And they think of you here as a partner. They think of you as a partner that can that they can imagine both in a sacred and sensual role. I'm hearing, I just think we would be really good together. So yeah. So with both of these cards, right, the thoughts of you do culminate here in archetypal projections, potentially most recently. So that means that you may appear to them as both a guide and a muse, a teacher and a lover, someone who has offered them or given them structure and chaos. So the sacred and the sensual, archetypally speaking. And they may be even wrestling with the idea that love with you can feel fated, as though it carries divine lessons and some type of like earthly bliss here with the Empress as well. So that's very archetypally speaking, but I feel like this archetype is feeding into the Knight, especially the Knight of Cups, which is kind of susceptible to idealism and charm and love and romance already. So this kind of archetypal feeling that they get from you is kind of leading them towards fantasies about bold romantic gestures. And then with the Knight of Pentacles, there's this inner divide between how to express that, or even if to express it at all. There's a tension here, a hesitation. They hesitate with the Knight of Pentacles, preferring safety and control. And this tension between these two knights creates the suspension of the Hanged Man, where they resist choosing one path and kind of remain in this limbo energy with the Hanged Man in the reverse position, where they can't like break out of the box. So this Six of Swords here then shows that they do long to resolve this inner conflict by moving forward, perhaps even imagining you as a part of that safe passage. Yet underneath this Six of Swords, the murky water kind of haunts them, you know, with little shadows. There's a fear of change, or even now with this, I just want to show you, like, look at that, like little, you know, little shadow parts here. So there's a fear of what's required to make this change, to land in the Hierophant and the Empress, this like archetypal vision. So their energy, it feels restless, almost like they've recently had a shift in perception, but they're resisting that full integration. This person, they may even be recently dreaming of you or sensing you in symbolic ways. So through some type of archetypal images of the divine feminine or sacred partnership that might emerge in their psyche. And that's all the more like amplified here or seen here with the Hierophant and the Empress. This person, they may also be working through the polarity between romantic fantasy and practical devotion. And they are realizing recently that love requires both of that, both some of the fantasy to kind of keep the spark going, and also some practical steps, practical devotion, patience, and knowing how to be steady and stable in a relationship, while also expressive and romantic. So I feel like that's what they're kind of working through right now. So let's get you guys some message cards here. Let's see what's going on. So what else is going on with this person? Okay, so we have radical honesty, powerful, like they're thinking about being really powerfully, profoundly honest with you. We have faith. They're having faith that everything will really like work itself out. We have abundance. This person's focusing on abundance in your connection. And also focusing on abundant thinking, abundant patterns. Okay, we have integrity. We have resilience. I just heard I'm strong, I got this. We have lust. So yeah, there's definitely that. Felt into that. We also have enmeshment. So for some of you, I just want to be clear, there could be some avoidant energies here, you know, where your person is struggling with an avoidant attachment style, because we have enmeshment here. Enmeshment trauma is connected to avoidant attachment. We have guides. This person is listening to their guides, to even other people, you know, they could be talking to other people about you, about this connection, connecting, getting their guidance, getting their thoughts on what they should do. But also they are spiritually connecting to guides as well as part of this dynamic, as part of this connection. So this person, they're thinking about radical honesty in love, the willingness to strip away fantasy and projection. The Knights here do suggest that this person is someone who is mentally torn between what they want to say and what they should say. So radical honesty here means admitting both the lustful pull, let's say, and the need for integrity. This person, they do not want to hide behind half-truths, that's for sure. The Faith card here resonates with trusting that moving forward, even into uncertainty, will end up leading them to healing and growth, aligned with the Six of Swords. And they believe this is an act of resilience as well, a willingness to believe love can bring abundance despite some past disappointments. With abundance, the Empress really like in alignment with that as well. Abundance here is more than just material abundance. It is emotional richness and sensual fulfillment and the fertile possibilities, things that are possible to manifest, things that are likely to grow in this connection. So in their thoughts, group number 2, you symbolize abundance, the idea that connection with you could overflow into beauty and creativity and into just this more nurturing states. Now they're thinking about how they can be in more integrity as well, more sincere, more devoted, or how they can be more in their integrity also just with feeling lust as well, you know. With the resilience card, the resilience card here means not giving up when it feels complicated and learning to integrate lessons rather than flee from them. So that's what they've been reflecting on, how they can kind of be better, you know, how they can not be scared and run away when things get hard or confusing. And then with enmeshment here, we have a difficulty of distinguishing one's own desires from projections, fantasies, or even the expectations of other people. So in love, enmeshment can look like trying to lose oneself in another person rather than meeting them as a whole being. And especially if someone has an enmeshment trauma, that can lead them to an avoidance state where they are afraid of being enmeshed in another person, where connection for them can indicate enmeshment, even if they deeply, deeply crave it. So their thoughts here might wrestle with the need for closeness versus the fear of their boundaries dissolving. So they're kind of trying to like find some type of understanding between these feelings. So yeah, like with lust, of course, this person, they feel you are intoxicating. They're also thinking about that. They're thinking about how intoxicating you are, how magnetically pulled they are to you, how they are attracted to you, how they love your physical appearance, how they're drawn to your body, to your emotions, to your mind. And yeah, they do desire you here with lust. Again, for 18 plus readings, check out my Patreon for pick a cards. Or if you guys are interested, by the way, just I do offer 18 plus readings, personal readings on my coffee, such as message readings or tarot readings. So with guides, going back to the reading, this person is like spiritually sensing that something is pushing them towards growth through this connection. And their thoughts include, like experiencing these inner urges, inner nudges, synchronicities, or like a feeling that this relationship is meant to teach them something. It's just that they don't fully know yet what exactly that is. So to kind of tie it all together, their thoughts do touch on lust, but wrestle with integrity for now. They do crave abundance, yet fear enmeshment. And there's a feeling of needing to be more radically honest. There's still hesitation there, though. Deep down, this person's guides are asking them to walk into faith and resilience, to face the tension, and ultimately to grow through it as well. So right now, this person could be asking themselves, some of their inner thoughts could go like, am I ready for radical honesty, both with myself and group number 2? They could also be thinking, can I balance lust with integrity and passion with patience? Do I have the resilience to surrender what I can't control and the faith to step towards abundance and trust that what's meant for me will come my way? So yeah, they're just reflecting, but still they're kind of like caught in this little box of theirs. So basically that's all for today, group number 2. We have loads of zodiac signs present here. We have Taurus, Libra energies, and Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energies. So loads of different energies present in today's reading. So thank you guys for tuning in, joining this reading. Let me know how this resonated in the comments below. If you want to book a personal reading, you can book through the Etsy shop or for 18 plus personal readings on my coffee shop. Both are linked below. And as I said, for Patreon, pick a card, 18 plus uncensored and spicy readings, check those out over on Patreon. So the link is down below as well in the description box and the pinned comment. There's also my email there in case any of you want to message me. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more tarot insights. Sending you so much love and clarity. Hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. Bye. Namaste. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. So you guys have picked this 10 of Cups card as your card for today on the topic of your person's most recent thoughts about you. So in this reading, we're just going to tune into your person's thoughts to see what they have been thinking about. So let's start off by drawing a couple of additional cards just to see what's really been going on with your person here. Let's see. So we have the 10 of Cups, of course. Let's see what else. For group number 3, please, Spirit. All right. Okay, wow, interesting. We have the Death card. Then we have the 4 of Cups. Okay, let's see what else. The Queen of Swords. We have the Justice. Interesting. One more card, please. All right, this one. We got the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so this is quite interesting. Like an interesting mix of cards all together. So let's talk about this first. We're going to just get into like really in depth into all these cards, and then we're going to draw some keywords as well. So overall, this person's thoughts here do feel like they are spiraling between longing, a fear of change, and also a need for clarity. So let's unravel it card by card and just see what's going on here. So we have the Ten of Cups here starting off. Let me just move this a little bit. So we have the Ten of Cups here. So at the core, this person recently holds an idealized image of love and emotional fulfillment. They're likely idealizing you, idealizing your relationship, or just thinking about, oh, what this connection could be. You exist in their mind as part of their soulful home. And they imagine the dream of intimacy, harmony, and belonging with you. But also, like, judging by all the other cards, especially all four of these, you know, this gives me a feeling of projection. This person is kind of crafting a story in their head where you represent that perfect union or unity to them. So spiritually, this card kind of represents a recognition of a soul bond, or at least the longing for one that your person is most recently very, very deeply experiencing. So yet also we have the Death here. So alongside this dream sits over here this reality of change and even endings that may have taken place in your relationship or even in their life most recently. So something in this person's past here with the Death, perhaps a relationship or an old self or a fear, is being shed right now. So their thoughts recently about you kind of carry this paradox where you represent possibilities, but also you represent the necessity of transformation. They know that if they were to open up more fully to you or to love in general, to the vibration, the frequency of love in general, it would dismantle something that they still hold, you know, very dear to them, like an old identity or even a life structure or some type of assumption or even a little bit or a part of their ego, you know. So they know that if they were to open fully, this would happen. So spiritually or energetically here, this feels a bit like a karmic threshold your person's on right now, like to embrace new love. You know, in order to do that, they must die to an old way of being, metaphorically speaking, but also it is, you know, spiritually, energetically, quite powerfully this person's existence right now. So in order to allow in the new, something must die, some type of way of being, some type of way of living, some attachment, some assumption, some type of thinking about you or about themselves or about love in general, about life in general. So some of that needs to shift to welcome in the new. And that's where this person feels like they are struggling. So the Four of Cups, this card suggests that they may be caught in rumination. Their mind is revisiting what has been lost, what they have maybe missed, or whatever they fear missing in the future. So they could be thinking of you as someone offering something precious to them, but their psyche here is caught between dissatisfaction and hesitation. So emotionally speaking, you know, this person is kind of suspended in a daydream right now. They are aware of the potential, but they are not really acting decisively towards making any of this potential a reality. And these three cards together, they kind of read as avoidance, the fear of rejection, or even of not living up to the love that they idealize. This person could even be, you know, self-sabotaging this connection to some degree, or they believe, even subconsciously believe, that they are not ready or not good enough. So they kind of self-sabotage the potential that they know is there, because that puts them, you know, in control. So next we have the Queen of Swords. You know, with the Queen of Swords, here the rational and discerning part of this person's psyche kind of surfaces for us. So recently they are scrutinizing their feelings. They're approaching their feelings more objectively. Even if they are still fantasizing and projecting, they're still trying to be rational or discerning about these thoughts, these ideals. So they are trying to cut through illusions or projections or fantasies. It's likely that they also recently think of you as embodying this energy, as someone who is sharp, perceptive, and also not easily fooled. And they also feel like you see through them, which stirs both attraction and intimidation in them. So energetically or spiritually speaking, the Queen of Swords here could carry a karmic mirror for some of you, where they are being forced to examine whether they can meet love in truth without clinging to fantasy. I feel like you in their life you bring that up for them, even in a more subconscious way or in an indirect way. You kind of like bring this up for them in some ways through your manner of speaking or acting, or in some way you kind of disentangle this person's illusions, or you kind of point at blind spots, you know. So yeah, recently their thoughts are wrapped in questions of fairness and honesty and the balance between the two of you. This person is reflecting on the fact that if they ever treated you fairly, did they treat you fair enough? Are they aligned enough within themselves to deserve this bond, to even deserve this fantasy or this projection that they are thinking about? So with the Justice, this person recently could even be haunted by the idea that fate or karma or divine order is weighing their intentions, at least to some degree, or is going to weigh their intentions in the future to some extent. And that makes them want to kind of rise up to the occasion, or just be more strict with themselves. So they're experiencing, like, there's a certain reckoning to come, and it's likely just this death or transformative energy that's kind of calling their name a little bit, you know, like death likes to do. So they're maybe like afraid of that a little bit, just they're feeling the call of the death, the transformation, and they're experiencing like, oh my gosh, a reckoning is coming, you know, so I need to get my shit in order. But overall, you know, this is just very transformative for your person. This connection, your relationship is very transformative for this person, and it's calling them out of this kind of dreamer paradigm into authenticity, into living, you know, as an authentic human being, having an authentic relationship with another human being, and realizing what love is through that relationship. So subconsciously, also group number 3, you may stir up this person. They may feel their choices in love, past or even present, are being judged by something higher in this connection. Or even they could see you as someone who is judging them, you know, who's judging them, their decisions, their choices as either good or bad. Now we do have the Page of Pentacles here as well. So what does this say? So their thoughts recently are wandering towards beginnings. They are thinking about tentative desires to reach out, to learn more about you, to start something more tangible with you, perhaps. They know they need to show up correctly and do things right, otherwise there's going to be no cigar. I don't know why I feel like I want to bring Freud into this. Like, I just want to say this person does feel like they have some mommy issues, like they are definitely projecting some of those issues onto you, where they feel like you are judging them, you know. So there's definitely some type of issue there with authority or with the mother, just as a little throwaway insight. But yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, you appear in their mind as an opportunity here with the 10 of Cups, an opportunity towards fulfillment, joy, a soulmate experience, but also as a lesson. The Page of Pentacles here shows that they feel like a student of love when it comes to you, like they're learning what love is through your relationship. And they don't feel fully prepared, but they see potential. So they are thinking like growth is possible. And they're thinking, I want to know what's going to happen next. So their most recent thoughts of you here do look like a little bit of a puzzle, a crossword puzzle almost, right? Where they kind of fantasize about union, but they know it demands transformation, and they're trying to figure out how everything goes together, how each word's kind of aligned and connected to other words, and how they could understand other words through figuring out some of these words on the left. You know, they're kind of hesitant and withdrawn. This person could be caught in emotional loops, yet they're also mentally analyzing everything with the Queen of Swords, or they're doing their best to mentally analyze everything. They do feel that there's a judgment afoot of some kind, or a karmic pressure with the Justice here, as if their heart is in a courtroom and truth cannot be avoided. That's like what I'm really tuning into here. You know, like there's some type of judgment on the horizon for them. But despite all this complexity, the Page of Pentacles here shows that deep down, they want to try themselves at a relationship with you. even if it's a small step, a message, an offer, a gesture, they want to try themselves at it. They want to go on this adventure with you. So let's see what keywords want to pop up here. So what I'm getting here is that before we get into the keywords, we do have two more cards already popping up. What I'm getting here though is that the Scorpio season, so when the sun goes in Scorpio, this is going to be a transformative time for your relationship, and also Libra. So we're already in Libra, I believe. Yeah. So Libra, Scorpio season, that's the season right now when I'm literally doing this reading. That's going to be very important for you guys. We do also have Gemini, Aquarius energies, and Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn over here. Right. So we have maybe as a keyword. We have love. Maybe love. Yes. We have divine feminine energy. Let's get a couple cards out here. We have compatibility. So they're definitely thinking about how compatible the two of you are, trying to be realistic. We have other people. So there are other people involved here to some degree in influencing your relationship. We have self-awareness. This is very good though, like self-awareness is definitely something this person is really, really benefiting from. Okay, we have growth. Let's get one more card, please, Spirit. We have pain. Oh, growth pains. So yeah, overall, this person, energetically, it feels like they kind of oscillate between these fantasies and fears. They do believe that they want something with you, and they're clinging to the vision of love and even resisting the surrender that the vision of love that they have requires. Group number 3. The thoughts of you recently kind of forced them to reckon with the past and with their integrity as well, and their capacity to love without illusion, right? This person is both drawn to you and also intimidated by you. You appear to them like a mirror, showing them both their dream and their shadow with the death and the justice. And that's why I'm feeling like, you know, this time right now is super important for you guys, because this person's shadow could be very visible to them. So on a more energetic, psychic level, they might even feel your presence lingering in their contemplations, almost as though you trigger realizations or even downloads, clarity or confusion, even on occasion if they're not ready to see certain things. When they think of you, you could trigger that for them. So in love, they are daydreaming, but also they're doing their best not just to be in this idle daydreaming state. They are being spiritually provoked. You know, growth and pain is definitely connected to all this. They do have some growth pains here, and they're thinking about how compatible you guys are. There may be actually other people involved here for some of you, like other people influencing your connection, This person's family could influence this relationship, or their friends could be influencing, or your friends could be influencing, or your family could be influencing this connection, whatever it is. There's just a feeling of other people in some way having a hand in it. If there's a third party, that's the case as well, but there are other people's perceptions, ideas, assumptions influencing this connection for sure. This person, however, they're circling around a maybe, like they're not sure how to hit the nail on the head because they don't fully know what they're dealing with, right? This energy here is just very like murky. It's giving slime, when you want to like hold slime, it kind of like starts to slowly slip through your fingers and just like it moves around. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. That's how this person's like behaving in trying to hold on to love or your connection. And they're torn between love and the pain of transformation, the growth pain. That love ultimately also demands with death, with transformation. So in this person's mind, you embody the divine feminine energy, triggering both wonder and self-doubt in them. And their thoughts of compatibility recently stir comparisons also with other people, with other couples they know that seem to be doing really well. And yet you stand apart, in their life. You also stay apart from other people in some way, like you're just different to this person. You stand apart as a mirror of them and of their self-awareness to some degree. And you do represent a catalyst of growth for this person. And on some level, it feels blissful, but it also feels heavy. So yeah, this person, they are torn. They're seeing you as the divine feminine, but also wrestling with pain, and they see you with this potential for true love, but also, there's a wrestling with self-awareness here and the growth required to choose you over their illusions, or even, if it's relevant, to choose you over other people. There are other people involved or other people's opinions involved. So that's all that we have today. Group number 3, thank you for tuning in. If you guys would want to book a personal reading to get deeper into your own specific situation, you can book through Etsy or the Coffee website for 18 plus more uncensored readings. All the links are down below. And also for 18 plus pick a card readings, you can check out my Patreon and other offers. The Patreon link is also down below. So let me know in the comments how this resonates for your specific situation. It does feel like it's a very slippery, messy situation. Like this person, they themselves don't fully know what they're on about, right? And have difficult like setting on one thing that they want with you, which is likely just because they're in this like deep transformative space right now. But it's definitely good for them. It's definitely a good time for them to be in this space. So anyway, make sure to like, share, subscribe for more tarot insights, and click the notification bell to be notified when I post another video. Sending you so much love and clarity, and I'll see you soon in the next one, or see you in a personal reading or on Patreon for some uncensored, spicy content. Have a lovely day. Bye. Namaste.